Hey everyone, checking back in on the cryptocurrency space. New all-time highs over the weekend for Bitcoin. Ethereum is stealing the show. At one point, we were about 20% away from the market cap of Bitcoin. I do believe we are going to see that shift, and we are going to see a new leader in the space. This is the Bitcoin 2-hourly chart, and someone in the chat room came up with this chart, and I like it a lot. It's an ascending wedge. It shows a tightening range and a clear bear break, and we're now looking for some lower highs and lower lows and more prolonged consolidation to play out here. You look at the daily time frame, and the bearish pullback, we took back 3 bull days to the upside with that one pullback. We're still forming higher lows on the daily as long as 25.99 holds, and that's the next key level. You can see the bulls are buying the dip here on the daily a bit above that level, but it's very high volume. We have a lot of time left in the day, and we're already seeing a lot of volume. Some of that is bulls buying the dip, but most of that is bearish action. So we do need to be cautious of potential shift in trend for lower highs and lower lows. If we were to see that begin forming on the daily time frame, we would absolutely make note. The weekly time frame is the first red week we have seen in months, and this is a bearish reversal candlestick, and pretty much however we close, it is going to be a bearish reversal candlestick. Even if we close at 3,000, it is going to be a bearish reversal dragonfly doji. So I can already see that that is going to be the candlestick. The question is going to be, do we confirm it next week? This would have me cautious in Bitcoin, absolutely, and want to be watching the hourly time frame, which right now oversold bounce is trying to play out, but we could be seeing lower highs and lower lows here. It all depends on the low that we've seen so far and whether or not we see a break of the support or the resistance. So the high of this bounce at this point is 28.62, very key resistance, and the low is 27.10, very key support. That's the range to currently be watching on Bitcoin. Ethereum is astounding, and we're up over 400. Daily chart is just in full-on bull mode. Look at this bull break of the inside bar. These inside bars on the daily time frame, every single time they break, they give great trade signals. We had one back here, bull break, and a 3-day bull move. We had one right here, and now we're on a 2-day bull move. Here's another one and another bull move. So you look at the range of the inside bar, and as soon as you break to the upside, that's your bull signal, and we've seen follow through every single time that has happened. We're now seeing a bit of profit taking from the highs, but the bulls are buying the dip. There is still strength here. There is no dump. So ETH 420, and then we're looking up towards 500. The bulls are astoundingly strong, as I said, but the weekly time frame, this is not sustainable. There is going to be consolidation. There is going to be a pullback. I'm not going to try and time the top. There's plenty of trading opportunity on the way up, but I absolutely would not take a long position looking at this weekly chart. So we could see another week or two of upside, absolutely, but I do believe that we are going to see multiple weeks of consolidation cooling this off. This RSI is up here at 95, 97. And nothing can go straight up like this without some profit taking and consolidation, in my opinion. So just patiently waiting in terms of being careful, being cautious, because there are definitely downside potential here in the sense that we just hit that all-time high, and anybody buying up at 410 to 420, they instantly took a significant hit, and obviously it's recovered a little bit, but there are people that bought in, and next thing they know, an hour later, they were down, let's see here, they were down, 8% in an hour. So we do need to be aware that there is going to be profit taking at some point in time, but as of right now, the bulls are still in full control, forming higher lows and higher highs. 369 is key support, also looking at shorter term support of 390.29, and we'll see if the bulls can continue to hold up as they have been. And again, I do believe Ethereum is going to steal the show. We have not seen any real media attention on Ethereum. People are aware of Bitcoin. People are not aware of Ethereum. So I do believe that there is still upside potential in terms of, being recognized by the general public and seeing some action there. And because of this fact, I think that it is a great idea to be doing research in altcoins that are based off of Ethereum technology and platform. And I do believe there's a lot of upside there. I don't think we're going to see 1,000% gains in Ethereum from these levels in the short term, but some of these other names, depending on how they catch on here, maybe Golem, maybe some other names, could see 1,000% move if they do get the right attention. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in terms of laggard plays, watching those altcoins and watching very closely to see when a temporary top is in here. Look at the daily time frame again for Ethereum, and we haven't seen, on the way up, we've seen big bull moves like this, but they're met with profit taking and consolidation. 3 days of pullback, 2 days of pullback, 1 day of pullback. So pullback is coming in the near term future, but again, it's just short term, and anybody holding long term over the past couple of months is laughing all the way to the bank, and that is absolutely wonderful for those that have that kind of conviction. Personally, as I said, I've been trading. Definitely, if I held on, would I have more money? Absolutely, but I've been bouncing around in Ethereum, Litecoin, And Golem just established a bit of a longer term position in Litecoin with a 1 to 2 week time frame. And that's because of this daily chart, because we're revving our engine, so to speak. The bulls are building up momentum here, looking for an all-time high break. So we had our all-time high at 38.91, lower high of 35.88, lower high of 35.50. And I do believe that we are going to continue to see some higher lows form and the bulls get very close to a bull break. And I am looking for Litecoin to hit into the mid $40 range, maybe even that 50 psychological number. But I am looking for that to happen in the next 2 weeks. We are seeing big, significant profit taking. And the correlations right now that we're seeing is Bitcoin was seeing weakness with Ethereum strength. Litecoin was seeing the same weakness. It seemed like money was leaving everything to play Ethereum. But then when Ethereum pulled back, we didn't see the inverse action back to the upside yet in Bitcoin. So that tells us we're not seeing significant profit taking in Ethereum yet. If we start to see significant profit taking and start to see the altcoins and some of the other names see some upside, then we know that money is leaving Ethereum for the time being, but we're not seeing that yet. So here on Litecoin, the bulls need to form a higher low compared to 27.65, and right now 28.74 is the low of today. The bulls want to buy this dip a bit more significantly and see some lower wick as we have in the past after bull moves. But again, I'm just looking for an all-time high sometime in the near future. It has not run to an all-time high in a very significant amount of time since back in early May, significant compared to everything else, of course. So I do believe that we could see the bulls run this name if we do see finally ETH slow down a little bit. But as long as ETH still stays strong, we're going to see attention and momentum in that space. So as of right now, Litecoin is struggling a little bit to bounce. Big time pullback, oversold bounce trying to play out. Bulls need to establish a higher low and then a higher high here. So the range on Litecoin, 29.83 support and 30.88 resistance. And actually, it's the low of the pullback support we're looking at. 28.74 support and 30.88 resistance. We have to be watching the low of the dump and the high of the bounce attempt. That is our range to be watching right now on both Bitcoin and Litecoin. And as far as Ethereum is concerned, we're just watching to see if we're going to lose the very strong pattern that we're currently seeing. Very clearly, bulls are buying the dip, and they can see, I mean, we watched, $20 moves in just a few minutes with a lack of resistance on Ethereum. Last we got Golem, which is seeing a bunch of downside with the strength in Ethereum as well. Pretty much everything is pulling back. And such consistency in terms of the daily chart. Look at these rejections from, it's actually the hourly chart I want to look at, but look at the rejections from the 215 level. And we've rejected from this level now 1, 2, 3 times. And selling above 20 and reloading in the 18s is a really good way to increase position or just take profit off the table and eventually ride free if that goes well for a long period of time. So what we have on the daily time frame now, we did break to higher highs just barely on Golem the 2 days ago, where the highest price that we had seen since the all-time high after 1 day of consolidation, the highest price we had seen was 2151, and we did get up to 21589, so it is a higher high, and the bulls did gain some momentum there, but we are seeing this pullback. We need to form a higher low. We need to head back to the upside. But again, I do believe that as Ethereum gains attention, anything that is tied to Ethereum is going to gain attention as well, and I am still holding out on Golem. And the next name that goes on Coinbase, again, it's definitely a rumor at this point, but if that were to play out, it would gain a lot of attention. There's a lot of talk right now with potential competitors to Golem, but if Golem were to get on Coinbase, that would do a lot in terms of, public acceptance and notability. It's the wrong word, but being known in the space because it's on Coinbase and tradable and lots more liquidity. That would definitely give it a leg up against its competitors, all fundamentals aside, just by hype and being well known for that fact alone. So that's what we've got heading into today. Congrats to all the bulls. Absolutely still a printing press of virtual money here. And cautious on Bitcoin with weakness on the dump, losing the higher low pattern on this time frame, 2-hour chart. Ethereum still bulls in full control. Litecoin looking for an all-time high sometime in the next 2 weeks, but the bears are still in control here as well. And watching to see if when money does leave ETH, if it does come back into the altcoin space. I appreciate you watching. Going to do a video sometime either today or tomorrow on some altcoins. I'm going to do SYS, Waves, ANT, and Strat, and those are coming from members in the chat room that requested that. So I'll post that eventually in the near-term future. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you soon.